Hello, everyone. We're back with episode 2 of our third season of What's the Hype podcast, and I've got Adam Pritchard, our director of golf, here joining me today, recording this on Thursday, March 13th. We're getting ready to open the golf course tomorrow. Seems like about a year ago, we sat down right before the golf course opened and went over some important things. And today we're going to talk about something new to Hyperion and relates to handicaps. It's called CAPPATROL. And a lot of questions about CAPPATROL. It's a new handicap monitoring device that will basically make sure that handicaps are as accurate as they should be, as handicaps are always a hot topic, it seems like, especially after large events. But Adam, why don't I turn it over to you, and why don't you talk about what is CAPPATROL?
All right, perfect. Thanks, Evan. Like Evan said, we're looking forward to starting the year tomorrow. And handicaps are always an important part of golf. It's always a kind of a lightning point for a lot of things. But CAPPATROL is a neat little program. It works with the USGA GIN. It works with our 4Ts tee sheets. What it does is essentially just a monitoring program. So me and Evan go out and play starting April 1st, because that's the first day you can post legally in Iowa. So we have 2 weeks to kind of get used to the system, have fun with it before it really goes live and affects anything. But it does have your data from last year and then probably all the way back for about 20 or so years. So what it does, we go out and play. Pro Shop checks us in on the 4Ts page. The next day or 2 days, actually it is the next day, you'll get an email from 4Ts saying, all right, you and Evan played. Evan posted a 85. Adam, you posted a 92. So that's the first part about it, is called peer review. So Evan can see what I've posted, I can see what Evan has posted, and make sure that we're both posting the right number. Along with that is we'd highly recommend you on your USGA GIN apps on your phone is to post your hole-by-hole score, not your total or not your 9-hole. That just helps make sure your score is posted as accurately as possible, because there is a max number related to your handicap that you can take on each hole, and that number is different for every person, every handicap number. So the first part of CAPPATROL is peer review. The second part is it allows me to see who's posting and who isn't. So a couple days after your round, if you still haven't posted your score, you'll get a reminder email, hey, still time for you to post that score and get it in there. That way it makes sure your handicap is as up-to-date as possible. What that's trying to do is, you say, I go out there and shoot a 67, and I know men's members coming up in 2 weeks. I'm going to get reminded from the system, not the Pro Shop, but it is all computer-based, so nobody's doing anything here. The system reminds you to post that score, and we make sure it gets in there and affects your handicap the way it should affect. Mm-hmm. It goes the other way, too. If you have a really bad round of 90, it'll still remind you to post that 90 and make that handicap come up. So it does go both ways. So we just want to make sure you're posting everything and every time you play. To that end, there is, the obvious question is, well, I'm out there with my kids and I hit 2 or 3 shots and then I picked up. The way we can counter that is coming to the shop beforehand. The Pro Shop can mark you down as a non-postable round, or that next day when you get that email saying you didn't post, you can go, there'll be a button on that email where you can hit, say it was a non-posting round, so that way it doesn't have to count. And that being said, if you don't want to be a part of the CAPPATROL program, we're not forcing anybody to be part of it here. But it is going to be a requirement for any major event, i.e. your men's invitational, your ladies' chariot, your ladies' member, your men's member, that you must be on this program in order to play in those events or compete in those events. So I just play golf out here and don't do anything in any events. I don't need to be on it if I don't want to be. So that's kind of works that all the way around. It kind of fits the entire membership.
So April 1st is when we can start posting.
April
correct?
1st is when GIN or the USGA allows us to post our scores in Iowa.
Okay.
So right now, part of CAPPATROL, there is an app on your phone. Mm-hmm. I've downloaded it. It does some pretty cool things. There's a lot of stuff you can do on the app. Unfortunately, right now, CAPPATROL decided their app was 4 to 5 years old, and for the last 2 weeks, they've been working on updating the app, and the app is not ready to be downloaded. But the good news for us is I've been told April 1st that new app goes live, so the first day we can post, everybody can download that app. It is a free app. It kind of just works just like your GIN app. but it does a lot of other interesting things. It could tell you who's riding a hot streak right now, whose handicap is on the way down, whose handicap's on the way up. It does a lot of tracking for you if you want
Like who's hot and who's not,
who's
right?
hot and who's not, who's got clutch putting stats and stuff like that. It's
Brandon Blanchard.
It'll be very interesting to see how all of it goes.
Huh.
And like I said, everything is free. There's no cost to any member. Yep. The app is free. Like I said, it's just going to be a way to help us monitor and make sure our events are
as fair
as they can be.
So we actually started talking about this about a year ago. We started with the golf committee. It started with the golf committee and then the board. We decided to hold off on it last year. Des Moines Golf, another club here in town, as well as Davenport Country Club, implemented it last year. And we were able to get some really good feedback from them just on how they rolled it out, how it was received, and it was very well received at those clubs. And again, it gets back to the fairness of these large events. You know, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of other things on top of these events, and you know, we want them to be as fair. So take me for example, Adam, that maybe my handicap isn't as accurate as it should be, according to CAPPATROL, and I want to play in the men's member. And what if there's an adjustment to my handicap? What does that look like?
Perfect. It's a great question. And obviously he is on the watch board for handicap adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Big sandbagger. So what that works. So the neat part is this takes any human element out of this whole situation. There's nobody on a handicap committee or golf committee that has to go confront somebody about, hey, your handicap's not right. It's just simply a cold hard math problem for the computer to solve. So let's say we run a report the first of every month that would monitor handicaps and see if there needs to be any adjustment. Now, the adjustment would only happen if you play in the event. It doesn't affect your day-to-day handicap. It just says if you want to play in this event, this is what your index will be for this event. So let's say for you sign up for the event, and it's September 3rd, so we get the new report on the 1st of September. The report says we recommend that Evan's handicap be adjusted down by 1.3 on his index. We say, okay. It automatically shoots Evan an email saying this is what's going to happen to your handicap for any event for the month of September. And we expect these emails to be few and far between. I don't think you're going to see a lot of these emails, a lot of adjustments. I think Des Moines Golf all year had 8,
really?
If my memory serves. So it's not going to be a very big problem. But to that end, to your question is, Evan gets into the event, instead of being a 7.0, now he's a 5.7. And then the Golf Genius software that we run our tournaments on would use that handicap for whatever event. And then, like the member, we take 90% of that handicap, so we'd be taking 90% of 5.7.
Yep. And just to be clear, like Hyperion has no affiliation with the algorithm of this computer system. This was started by, I believe, a gentleman that was a president of his club that was big into IT. And they were
statistician.
Statistician. They were having a lot of issues at their club with handicap and how accurate handicaps were. The same people were winning the same events over and over again. So he developed this, and it's really evolved into something that's really at a lot of clubs throughout the country, from what I understand.
They say they got at least over a third of the clubs. It's a lot out east.
Yeah.
It's slowly creeping this way. I've had talks with some other pros in the section of Iowa that are looking at it. Mm-hmm. So I would expect this to be a more popular tool going forward, and it is only going to grow. And like I said, it's just a computer program. There's no human emotion attached to it. It's just...
And there's no staff involvement.
No staff
Hyperion,
involvement.
There's no board involvement. This has been board approved, just for full transparency. The board is behind this after we made our recommendation to try it. But this is a third party. We're not trying to penalize people.
Nope.
We're just trying to make sure all handicaps, if you're going to play in a competitive golf event at Hyperion, you need to have a GIN and you need to be enrolled in CAPPATROL to play in those events.
Yep.
More or less. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes this year.
Yep. And you're going to see, we're going to be out in that first tee a lot in the beginning weeks, especially April 1st or so, explaining the program and trying to soften the blow, trying to communicate as much as we can of, you might get a couple more emails now, but in the end, if we can make the system more fair, then I see no reason why we shouldn't be making the system more fair.
That's how golf should be played, is fair. And just to kind of go back what Adam said, say there's you have a foursome and you play golf on a Saturday morning, and next morning you're going to get an email from CAPPATROL saying this is what everybody posted. So big part of this is peer review. peer review. Hopefully we don't have a lot of issues, but this is something new. We've got an email communication going out here in the next couple days that's basically going to break it down a little bit more to what we're talking about. And then CAPPATROL, you can get on their website. It's CAPPATROL, CAP Patrol. They have several YouTube videos online. Some are a little bit longer, but they really dive into what exactly it is. And there's some other clubs that have created videos on top of that. So a lot of information out there if you're curious about this. But again, if you have questions, talk to the golf shop staff, talk to myself, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Yep, for sure.
Great. What else, Adam? I know you were just on vacation. I got the liberty of having a great podcast with your team.
Yeah, they seem to enjoy that. I think we're going to have to spice up Tommy's camera time a little bit more.
Tommy was, he was a little shy that time, but he opened up.
We'll break him out of that at some point. His big thing to feed on him last couple of days, the Vikings have been on a free agency tear, and he's a full believer that he's going to the Super Bowl next year to watch. So
wow,
good luck.
Very
with
optimistic
that.
out of Tommy.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm just hoping they still get Aaron Rodgers and just make it really nice.
I know
for
Tommy's not a fan of that. Well, anyway, we've got a lot of demo days coming up, right?
A lot of demo days. Callaway, I think you just got an email today about the Callaway demo day. You're going to see a bunch more of emails. We got Mizuno lined up, TaylorMade, Titleist, Cobra, Ping. I mean, we're going to hit all the major ones as early as we can. You'll see a lot of those Saturdays, Fridays in April. Try and give you as much free time. And on that end, if that date doesn't work for you, we do have a lot of that demo equipment in our shop with TrackMan, Will, Tommy, myself, Sarah, Charnay. Find a time with us and we'll get you fit. It's early spring. Let's get that. Don't wait all year to get fitted. Let's get that new stuff in your hands today. And like I said, we can do that. It's pretty much any time that you want. Maybe not a Monday, but any other day other than that, I think we can handle any of those requests. So I know Will did a fitting last night. I think Tommy did one today. I think Will's got one today. So
great. People are getting the itch and want to get some new clubs.
Get the new equipment. Guaranteed 20 yards.
Yeah, 20 yards. That's big, today's day and age. Loyalty balls too, right? Those are back?
Loyalty balls are back. Titleist ones just went out, or the Titleist email just went out. I would advise anybody that plays any number of rounds of golf, save yourself $50-$60 and to get the chance to put something interesting on that golf ball. I think I saw one the other day that said, "I'm not lost, I'm just hiding." I thought that was pretty clever. I don't know who did that one, but shout out to you. If I found one of those golf balls on the course this year, I'm going to keep it because I thought that was pretty clever. I could
definitely pick out a few people that might want to put that on their golf ball. Well, yeah, we're excited for another golf season. It's early opening tomorrow, Friday, March 14th, so we're expecting another 30,000 plus round year, which is a big year. But just to touch on one more thing, with our schedule, we did limit the events we're doing. Both Monday outings, we put increased food and beverage minimums on there, increased participation numbers to shut down the golf course on a Monday. And then we really looked at our golf calendar when it talks club events, and really we cut down a few events to make the tee sheet as available as we can for the membership during those peak times. So this year will kind of be a trial run with that. One of those events that did go away was the holiday couples event. We looked at data over the past few years, and this year you won't see those on that Sunday. It'll just be wide open tee sheet that Saturday, Sunday, and then that Monday you'll have the shotgun event. So we are still getting feedback from that, but that's the plan this year. And we are hosting the Sani this year, correct?
We do have the Sani this year. We met with the IGA this year. They're always excited to come back for that. This is the home of the Sani, and having that history go back all the way to the 50s, I believe, is kind of cool. Hopefully Tommy or Will or somebody local can make a run this year.
It'll be fun
and do well and play in it.
It'll be fun.
But everybody in the state of Iowa sign up for it. I think the early sign up starts April 1st for the people in the state. I might be wrong on that. I don't work for the IGA, so just go to the IGA website. It will tell you a lot, but it's always fun to have that here. Always fun to reconnect with certain AMs in the state and watch them
really
play.
Good players.
So
they light this place up.
And I would tell you, anybody here that hasn't heard of Herman Sani, Hyperion owes him a great amount of debt. So if you ever want to hear that story, come on in, or ask Mr. Bill Reed. He can give you the full
or historian Bill Reed.
Our historian, yes.
He will definitely tell you the whole story.
That's right.
He won't leave anything out. Maybe even add some. I don't know. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Adam. Again, Cat Patrol, if you have any questions, they've got a website. We've got another communication going out. YouTube, there's a lot of informational videos. But this is new to Hyperion this year, and it's something that we're going to implement.
Yep. And like Evan said, don't hesitate to ask someone in the shop. We've been, like the last 2 or 3 months going through hours of training with Cat Patrol. We hopefully can explain it, and I'm going to say in a first grade term, so that way people like me can understand it. So find us. We'll answer any questions as we can. We're going to expect a couple bumps in the road, as you do with any new technology. But like I said, in the long run, it's going to be worth it.
Great. Thanks, Adam. Here's to a great 2025 golf season.
Here we go.